Grand Canyon, the North Rim, there's a giant boreal forest. And of course, forests are filled with trees. And each tree has a story. We just have to listen for it. And sometimes look for it. See how the flames rose up onto this tree when this hillside was just a giant inferno. Well over my head, 7 feet, maybe 8 feet. Well, over here, this tree, the flames only went up 4 or 5 feet. And as you see at this big tree, no flames at all. Obviously this tree is much older than this tree. So what happened? Somehow the flames were stopped right here. Was it man interfering with nature? Was it a summer squall that came in and put the fire out before it overtook the entire hillside? There's a story here. Now sometimes even a tree's not even in front of us, it can tell a story. Here you see we've got a mound right next to a depression. And in that depression stood a very giant tree, probably bigger than this one right here. But a long time ago, probably decades, maybe even a century, this tree fell over. How do we know? Because when they fall over and they uproot, they leave a depression. And they fall over to one side, and those roots take up the rocks into the root system. And then when the tree disintegrates, the rocks fall down and form a mound. So when we see a mound and a depression, we know the tree fell that direction. So we have a story, even without a tree, it still leaves it behind. Now this tree story, it's a little more recent. You can see its pine needles are still green. So it probably fell just this last winter. Now it looks like a pretty healthy tree. What happened? Back here at the trunk. Back here at the trunk, it looks like bugs have eaten it out, made it weakened. And it toppled over with all the snow and the ice from the winter. When it did that, it took out these two neighbors of it. So the forest is a dangerous place. Now this tree also has a story. It fell many years ago, as you can see, and it fell between these two large trees and got wedged in between. There's much more than that. You see there's two trunks here and one trunk back there. Now the story is, at some point in the past, these two spires on top of this pine tree were competing for dominance, and they both weren't going to give up. So they both grew together. They both wanted to be the main trunk. But time took its toll on the tree, and it fell, coincidentally, between these two and got lodged. And above the ground, it did not disintegrate. And we know that this fell more than a century ago because of what's over here. Well, when this tree fell, remember, it's two main trunks. This is the one on top. It broke off. This is the one on bottom. It broke off. This one landed on top. And yet, it didn't come out here and get caught by this tree, which is only 53 years old. So, this tree must have fallen more than 53 years ago. Otherwise, this large trunk, long trunk, would have been caught back behind it. It's another story of a double trunk tree. So the forest isn't always a friendly place for other trees. There's competition. These two aspens, which are leaning against this pine tree now, they're a testament that this is a dangerous place. Long time ago, decades, a fire swept over this hill, wiping everything out. And the aspen took root, and they grew, and they grow faster than pines. So they took over this hilltop. And then The pines, they got their footing. They caught up and then surpassed the aspen and then starved them out of sunlight. The aspen died, and then their remains are now leaning against the perpetrators of their demise. Another story of trees. Cut.
nice backpack there too. Rigid, keep stuff
Yeah, it's insulated too.
nice.
I think they make
The legs are too stretchy.
It's 8:01, June 3rd.
Yay!
Headed down to
Rainbow.
Rainbow Plateau. Yeah, I think I messed up. Yeah, we were supposed to cut off back there. We should have crossed over to this hill, I think. That's why I shouldn't do this by memory. Yeah, we want to get over to that saddle there. But I tried going through that over there towards you, a little to the right of you, and that took me like a half hour to battle through that. But that was in September.
Oh yeah, we crossed our route back there a ways.
Yeah, we don't want to. Yeah, I think I'm seeing a look. Oh no, this is it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were supposed to come down and get on this deadfall right there.
Okay, hang on just a second.
All right. Don't film that. I put my gloves on. Yeah, I'm great. One of the loops on the shoelace came out. Yeah, I think I rested here last time. I'll do it again. All right, keep hold.
wasp